What's going on, everybody? Props2It's back at it again with yet another video. If you like this video and content like this, please be sure to like and subscribe, as well as check out my Twitch link below where I stream ranked play 7 days a week. Today's video is going to be a special one because I'm going to be giving you my ranked play settings and my class setup, so be sure to stay tuned and let's get right into that. So, first off, I play on PS5. I claw a PS5 controller, so for my controller settings, I have the ping off, of course. I do use flip. This is really important if you're playing on a PlayStation controller, especially. This is super important, so make sure you have your controller vibration off as well. Trigger effects off. Dead zone inputs, I keep my left minimum at 5, left maximum at 100, right minimum at 6. These ones are going to be subjective to how much stick drift you get. My right stick is going to be at 100 as well, and then these should both be at 0 for sure. For my aiming, I play on 5.5. That's pretty standard. Some people play a lot higher. I like 5.5. I think it's absolutely the best. The ADS sensitivity multiplier, I play on 0.8. I think that's correct. I like it the way that plays. These are all just at 1. Vertical aim axis, these are all just standard. Tactical stance sprint, I don't play with tactical sprint, or tactical stance on. I have that disabled, as you'll see, so that's why that's how that is. My aim response curve type, that is going to be dynamic. The ADS sensitivity multiplier, I found this from Raxi, he's the #1 rated player in the world right now. This is super, super important to have this on point net, especially on console, so make sure you're using this. My ADS sensitivity transitioning is instant. Custom sensitivity is off. The aim assist is, of course, on. Make sure you have your aim assist on. I use Black Ops. I think it's absolutely the best. Motion sensor behavior should be off, and we don't need the advanced settings because that's off. Automatic sprint, I do have as off. I don't think this is very good. Auto move forward is off. This is one of the most important settings in the game. The tactical sprint behavior should be on single tap run. Before it was a bit different. But the last update they did the game made it so that you need to use single tap run, so make sure you have this setting on. Ground mantle I have off because randomly mantles you over things, you can still mantle up on top of things, so I think this is good to have off. I have automatic airborne off, automatic ground mantle hang off, slide/dive behavior. This is supposed to be on slide only. It used to be tap to slide, and now that's buggy, doesn't work, so this needs to be slide only. Plunge underwater is trigger. Parachute is free fall. It's not super important. Sprint bashing door, this should be on. Ledge climb behavior should be mantle only. Aim down sight behavior is hold. Chain zoom activation, sprint tactical. Equipment behavior hold. Weapon mount, I turn this off personally. It's not in any competitive settings, so there's just really no reason to be mounting your weapon. It's not good. Tactical stance, I also have this off. I think there's just value to just keeping it off because you shouldn't be playing with tactical stance if you're playing anything competitive. Interact and reload is tap to reload. Armor plate behavior, apply 1. ADS stick swap off. Backpack control, directionals, depleted ammo on. A lot of these are really not super important. Ping wheel short, double tap, short and wheels behavior hold. So for the graphics settings, this is an important one. I went over this with Equip, and we decided the on-demand texture streaming should be off. The motion blur, this is very, very important. Make sure you have this off. Weapon motion blur also needs to be off. It's very, very important. The film grain also to 0. This is very, very important. Depth of field should be off. Fidelis cast should be on, and the Fidelis cast is supposed to be 80 for sure. Make sure that you keep this way. Eco preset is off. 120 hertz refresh rate needs to be on. If you don't see this on your game, then it's a monitor setting or a setting with the HDMI. You absolutely need to make sure that you have this enabled and that you have this setting. For the field of view, it should be 105. Obviously, this is a little bit of personal preference, but myself, Equip, Rexy, a lot of the best players use this, and I found that this is absolutely the best. So definitely use this. The ADS field of view is affected. Weapon field of view is default. This is all the way up to third-person field of view, of course. At least 50-50. Inverted flashbang definitely should be off. Third-person game perspective. My brightness settings I have just at 50. I think 50 is good. That works for me good. The safe area, this one's actually also very important. you need to make sure that you bring the like these all the way in, as far in as it will go. So don't have them out here. Have this as tight as possible because it'll bring your mini map as close to the top left corner in your peripherals as possible. So that's something that's very important to keep note of. My audio settings, I don't specifically think that you should be using home theater unless you're streaming. I use home theater because my Astros are plugged into my PC so that I can get audio everywhere from Discord, and that home theater seems to work the best for me to get the loudest audio possible when I'm doing that. So if you do have like a PC with a PS5 set up for streaming, then I do suggest that. I keep my master volume on 100 and my effects volume on 100. Everything else, in my personal opinion, should be at 0. As far as voice chat, I don't use voice chat in game. I use voice chat on in Discord, so that's how this is. A lot of these things can be personal preference, truthfully. So let's get down to the interface. I have all subtitles off. These things are all default. The color customization, I play with Tritnobia. This one seems to work the best for me. I've used this in multiple games. I've been using this since Cold War, so I'd suggest that. Filter 2 is also important in the world color intensity and the color interface intensity should both be at 100, and the filter should be on both. I think this is absolutely the best. If you're not using this already, please make sure to try this. The minimap should be square. Definitely should be square because it's bigger than the circle. The rotation, this should be obvious, but it definitely should be rotating. Horizontal compass, I turned mine off. This is mostly a Warzone thing, unless people are using it for callouts, but you and your teammates should know the callouts on the maps. If not, that's totally okay. Just work on them because, yeah, I mean, I don't think you should have anything extra on your screen. That's a personal preference thing for me. Crosshairs, I have on static. I have the dot on, but I have the center dot off. The hit marker visuals I have on. The damage-based hit markers I also have on. Players' names I have abbreviated. The in-game text I have on. The vehicle HUD, 10 seconds. Server latency, this is something I have on. So when I'm in the middle of a game, it shows what I'm pinging at the top. I generally ping about 24 on my own host. But you want to make sure you're pinging 100 or something like that. I keep these all off. I don't ever get packet loss, truthfully. I don't think any of these are really super important. I mean, this is just a world clock. I don't think these are necessary. I think it's just extra stuff on your screen that you don't need. Gameplay tools on, tips off, menu prompts are on automatic. And for the account, this I had on to join a party, but I definitely made sure that who was hosting the party had it off because if you're playing on a console, I personally suggest avoiding cheaters and playing on crossplay. That's why I moved back to PS5. I played Cold War on PC, but on MW3 I just moved back to console because the cheating has gotten out of control. Please, Activision, do something about that. It's ridiculous. I'd love to also see a console setting. To my understanding, that's not going to be possible. So, yeah, we're gonna have to just be playing with PS5 for now. The crossplay communication on this shouldn't really matter. All this stuff shouldn't really matter too much. As far as playing on PS5, if you're going to get a console to avoid the cheaters, I would personally suggest playing on PS5 rather than playing on Xbox. The reason being, PS5 just got rid of Cronus. You can't play with Cronus anymore, so there really is genuinely, essentially no cheating. I'm going to go over my rival class first. Both of these, as you can see, use the infantry vest. Some people use lightweight with the dive silence perk. Every game mode, I personally like to just have the covert sneakers. I think that they're just better. That's a bit of a personal preference, but yeah. So as far as my rival class, I am using the Rival C clear shot. That's very consistent for what everybody else is using. That's definitely the best. It's been the best since the beginning of the game. For the muzzle, we're using the Purifier muzzle. Same thing. You definitely need to be using this. This is something a little bit different. I see a lot of people using the DR6 hand stop. I think that every single gun, no matter what you're using, if you're playing ranked play, if you're playing CMG wagers, if you're playing on Warzone, I think you should be using the X10 Phantom hand stop. I think it's the best attachment I've seen on almost any gun, any game. It's fantastic. It's sprint to fire speed, aim down sight, vertical recoil, and gun kick. This is just absolutely insane. I don't see a lot of people using this on the rifle. It is the best attachment in the game for any gun. You should be using it on every gun. That allows it, of course. As far as the stock, I'm using the MTZ Marauder stock. Definitely go ahead and start using that. It's if you're not already using it, it's definitely the best. The Rival Vice, I mean, this is undoubtedly the best grip. It only gets rid of idle slay and gives you better recoil control, gun kick, firearm stability. Definitely make sure you're using that. My Renetti clasp, I'm just going to show it to you on one clasp because it's the same thing between my AR and my sub. So on this, we're using the short competition barrel. I do see that a lot of people like to use the Zeman Compensator. It takes down the vol velocity, so I just don't personally think it's very good. I think if you're up close and you're already going to be shooting your opponent, you want the less bullets, like the least amount of bullets possible killing them. I don't think that the radar ping specifically matters. For getting out of situations, you could want it to just help with the recoil. I don't think this gun has very much recoil, especially close. I personally don't like it, but a lot of pros do use it, so that one's up to your personal preference. Like I said, it's not for me. Slate reflector, I mean, it's the only one available. I think it's good. I think that you get a better hit reg with the slate reflector, so if you're not using it on your pistol, I have never used it on any competitive game before on a pistol. An optic, I always thought that was super goofy. I generally didn't really like it on any weapons before. However, I think that you get a better bullet reg, and I've seen like somewhat consistent thoughts through the competitive community with the bullet reg, so I would definitely look into using the slate reflector. For the rear grip, we're using the wood grain. I mean, this is definitely the attachment that you should be using on the pistol as far as the grip. So that's the Renetti class. I use stun. If you're playing SMDs, I don't have a second class for smoke. I just switch over to a smoke if I want to use a strategy. That includes one. I use Semtex frags. If you're doing good nade frag spots, you can do that. I think Semtex is just better. I use quick grip gloves as well. So using the Semtex lets you get out of some situations. I think that it's a bit better than the frag in general. Trophy system, like I said, I use it on almost every class. I see though a lot of pros, at least a few pros, Raxi specifically uses lightweight and dead silence on hard points. Quick grip gloves. I went back and forth. I've generally used these for like 95% of the game. I've tried Assault, in case you're wondering about Assault gloves. For the Assault gloves, I was trying them. I played some wagers with Equip, and he said definitely use the quick grip gloves. Feels very confident about that. I was split, so that made me line right in with the quick grip gloves. Sorry about that. And yeah, I think those are definitely the best first attachment for a better perk to use. So covert sneakers, always use these. EOD, definitely don't use the tech mask. I don't even know what that is. Bad. So definitely be using the EOD padding. And we're gonna get into the assault rifle. So this is one thing that's interesting about the assault rifle is if you're not already, I hate to be like this, but definitely make sure that that you're using the blam blam. So it shows that the package is going to be not usable. However, that's not actually true. It's one of the attachments that generally comes on it, like pre-built, is not usable, but the gun itself is usable. So if you're using this gun, you are going to get 0 downside, but you're going to get a faster aim down sight speed and a faster bullet velocity as well as damage range. That's crazy. There's absolutely no excuse. I mean, outside of the $20, if you cannot afford it, I totally understand that. I'm not pressing or pushing anybody to buy something that they can't afford. However, if you can afford it, it's not pay to play, but it's not pay to win, but it is pay to play. So I would definitely look into using the Blam Blam kit. Like I said, it's going to just make your gun better. It's going to aim down sight faster. The bullets are literally going to shoot faster. It's going to have better damage range. So it's really a no-brainer. If you can afford the $20, shell it out for the Blam Blam, because if somebody else is using the exact same gun, same attachment, shoots at the same time, you will be killing them, which it's unfortunate. They should take it out, but until they do, you should be using it. For my class setup, I use the 16.5 MCW Cyclone Long Barrel. That's very consistent. Everybody seems to be using this. Is definitely the best. This, I see some people are also using the Zeman. Like I said, I'm not super into the Zeman. I don't think the bullet velocity matters that much. Or I think the velocity losing it matters. The radar pings doesn't matter to me as much. I like the billeted. I also think that like the vertical recoil, this gun just doesn't jump at all if you're using the billeted. And you can use the same class on wagers. That was something that was important to me. That on when I play CMGs, I can use the same class setup. So that's part of the reason I'm using the billeted as well. Feel free though to try the Zeman. The X10 Phantom, like I said, best attachment in the game. You should be using it. The RB Rapid Strike Grip. This is also another attachment that's definitely should be pretty obvious. As far as the sight, for quite a long time, I was using the slate reflector. The reason I was using it was because I wanted to have consistency between the pistol and the assault rifle. I don't think it matters quite as much anymore. I think that we should just be using the MK reflector because you just can see more. You get a better field of view on it. You know, on the slate reflector, there's the line on the top and around the sides, where this just has a line around the sides. So I would definitely look into using the MK3 reflector if you're using the slate reflector still. I think it's a bit better. So that is my class setups. Those are my settings as well. If you guys aren't playing on console, I suggest getting on console to avoid the cheaters. And thank you so much for anybody who stuck around. If you guys have any comments, let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. If you guys like these, if you guys have any suggestions. And thank you guys so much for tuning in.